Number 47, which of the following shifts of the graph of y equals x squared? Okay, so we're dealing with a parabola. And it's pretty much its most basic form, y equals x squared. We know it's a parabola, the highest degree is 2. Would result in the graph of y equals x squared minus 2x plus k, where k is a constant greater than 2. So basically, here they're giving us a parabola in standard form. We want to deal with shifts. We want to think of the vertex form of a parabola, a times x minus h squared plus k, where h comma k will be our vertex. This will show us the shift right here on the x-axis, and this will show us our shift on the y. So we need to use completing the square. If we use completing the square, we always want to take the c value and sort of push it to the side. And then what's really important is to find our b value. Here is our b, right? Because we have y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So our b value here is negative 2. And now I'm going to add negative 2 over 2 squared. Now I have my k that I pushed to the side. I need to subtract over here the same exact thing that I added in order to counterbalance these two things. Okay, because I can't just add something here without subtracting elsewhere. Negative 2 over 2 squared. Okay? And when we complete the square, we take negative b over a. I'm sorry, negative b over 2a, rather. So we get x squared minus 2x plus 1 plus k minus 1. And now we have a perfect square here, right here, which is why we completed the square. Y equals x minus 1 squared plus k minus 1. So we are now in vertex form. We know our vertex is going to be 1, and then it's going to be k minus 1. So here we can see that we have a shift of, it goes up k minus 1 units. So up k minus 1 units is between d and e. And now when we subtract 1 from x, this shifts counterintuitively, and we'll shift it actually right 1. So it becomes e. What you really want to remember here is completing the square. So one more time, we'll do completing the square, just to review. If you already get it, you can move on. But remember, when we have completing the square, we want to add half of the b value squared. We said that the b value here, again, was negative 2. So to go through the math again, y equals x squared minus 2x. We're going to push k to the side. We're going to add b over 2 squared, which in this case is negative 2 over 2 squared, plus k that we move to the side. We're going to subtract the same thing we added here to counterbalance it so that it doesn't make the equation untrue. We know that negative 2 over 2 is negative 1 squared. This is 1, so it's y equals x squared minus 2x plus 1 plus k minus the same thing, 1. And here we can take the square root of it, which is why we call it completing the square. It makes a nice perfect square for us, x minus 1 squared plus k minus 1. Here, outside the parentheses is the shift on the y. It went up k minus 1. Inside the parentheses is the shift on the x in the opposite direction expected. If we're subtracting 1, we're actually going to shift it right 1. And that's why E was the answer.